Welcome, my name's M-phamis, but you call me M-people. Welcome back. Alright y'all, this is a very serious video. In this video, we're gonna talk about abortions, reproductive rights. I know I'm a guy, and I pretty much is out of place once it comes to something like this, but I just need to spread awareness about this particular issue. In this video, we're gonna talk about Adriana Smith. Adriana Smith was a black nurse and a couple weeks old pregnant mother who has been declared brain dead for months, and because of a Georgia heart bill, they could not let her just be buried. She had to carry her kid to term, even though she's brain dead. She's literally dead. It's been all over TikTok for the past couple weeks and all over the internet. The point of this video is just to spread awareness about this. This is really serious and really edgy. If you guys don't got the stomach to watch this video, please get off. Please just click out now.
If this baby survives in Georgia like they want it to, we are. Woman in Georgia, Adriana Smith, is brain dead in the hospital, but because she is pregnant, 9 weeks pregnant, the hospital put her on life support, not to save her, but to save the fetus. She's legally dead. The family wants to let her go, and they said no, because she's pregnant. They are keeping her alive as a human incubator. This is medical experimentation, not pro-life. This is a violation of human rights. If the fetus survives, I need you to understand this. They are going to use this as precedent. This will be the new normal, and it will not stop here. The logic becomes, if you're pregnant, your body is not yours. If you're suicidal, fine, put her in a medically induced coma. Sedate her. You're brain dead, keep her alive as a breeding factory. This is the nightmare version of Roe v. Wade being overturned. And it is not random that Adriana Smith is a black woman. Black women and black people in general, but especially black women, have always been the test subjects for medical experimentation and our medical progress. Black men were left to die in Tuskegee. Black women were cut open without anesthesia. Henrietta Lacks cells were stolen. What is next? This is next. They are watching how much they can get away with. You might think this is just one case. It's not. It's a test run. We are watching a state turn a brain-dead woman into a breeding vessel. If you're not furious and you're not terrified, you're either a shit person or you're not paying attention. This will not stop with her. Say something before it becomes protocol.
I think this is an important point in regards to the Georgia woman who's being kept alive for her 9-week-old fetus. It's that her brain is dead. It's dead permanently. There's no coming back from that. Here's what happens to your body when your brain's dead and you're forced to stay alive. You cannot breathe, so you have a ventilator shoved down your throat to force air into your lungs. Any medication or nutrients you need, you will have IVs in your body, needles all over your body, 24/7. For this woman, at least 4 months. Because she needs to eat, she probably has a feeding tube shoved down her throat. And because of all these instruments in and out of her body, she will develop pneumonia. You're not supposed to have a ventilator on for that long. It's very likely, too, she'll get sepsis. And because she has no brain activity, she has no immune system, so anything that she gets will kill her. She has the inability to fight it off. Then there's the emotional aspect. So when you're brain dead, your body still does things, but not because you're alive. Your eyes might flutter, your limbs might twitch, which will terrify your family. Your skin will become gray and waxy, and your limbs will become very stiff.
Whenever we're talking about reproductive justice in America, we have to remember that black women have always been the ones on the front lines of this fight. A lot of the earliest knowledge we have regarding reproductive science came from J. Marion Sims, one of the most renowned doctors of the 19th century, and he was dubbed the father of gynecology. A lot of this knowledge he was only able to obtain through surgeries without anesthesia on enslaved black women in front of audiences of white men. Sims would pass away in 1883, but his work would lay the foundation for the eugenics movement, a movement that Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, believed in. And it's worth noting that they've since denounced her belief in eugenics. Things like the eugenics movement, forced sterilization, unsafe abortions would be things that would disproportionately affect black women, like Fannie Lou Hamer, who will receive a hysterectomy without her consent in 1961, that would lead to health complications that would ultimately lead to her death at the age of 59. It was actually black women who coined the term reproductive justice in 1994. So whenever we have these conversations, remember, black women deserve a seat at the head of the table.
Police to black men is equivalent to doctors to black women. And if you're a black woman and you follow this page, you already know that. Yesterday, I was on the phone with my sister as she went to a doctor's appointment to see a new gynecologist. Now, to level set, My sister has the same endo symptoms as me. And as a lot of you probably know, like when you have endo within your family, you are 7 times more likely to have it. So she shows up to this appointment. I'm on the phone. And the way this man is talking, white man, is talking, I'm like, oh, this is not gonna go the way I want it to go. This is not gonna go the way I want it to go. This man it was so dehumanizing the way he was treating and talking to my sister. I cried. And I'm watching my sister tear up in this appointment and like trying to be strong and get through this appointment because of how she was treated, because this man thought it'd be cute to dismiss her emotions, to dismiss her pain and her symptoms, and tell her, oh, just slap some birth control on it and we don't need to address endo because you're too young to have endo. You can't possibly have endo. If you had endo, you would have symptoms like painful sex. You would have gastro symptoms. You would have painful periods. My sister is like, I have all of those. You would have known that had you actually asked me about my symptoms before telling me what I do and do not have. The absolute caucasity of this man. And the thing that really hurt me is like, this is not a unique experience. This is something that happens to Black women every single day. Any Black woman, if you talk to her, she will have a story of going to a doctor and talking about her symptoms and either them not being taken seriously or pain being completely dismissed. I myself have literally had my pain dismissed in a freaking ER. In an ER. I need people to understand that this is dangerous and this is literally killing Black women. Like, that sounds dramatic, but when you have different symptoms, especially when it comes to your health, and you are seeking out medical care and the doctors themselves are literally gaslighting you, dismissing your pain, dismissing your symptoms. Like, thankfully, we had the knowledge to know, like, this man literally doesn't know what he was talking about. He called endometriosis I think he called it like a uterine condition, when I'm like, the whole thing is that it grows outside of the uterus. Like, what? But just hearing how he spoke to my sister, he literally had laughed. He had laughed when I was sharing my own experience, and I was like, yes, I have endo, I'm going in for surgery, and I'm advocating for my sister on the phone because I couldn't be there. And he thought it'd be cute to laugh and be like, oh, well, I guess we'll see what the laparoscopy says then. We need to do better. And we need to hold these people accountable. You better believe we filed a complaint. You better believe we left reviews on every public site that we could find, essentially. So if you go to a Dr. David, what's his name, Ike Waltz in Cincinnati, I would suggest that you don't. I would suggest that you don't.
Bro, after hearing about the whole Adriana Smith thing, this is nuts, even for me. I mean, guys, look at me. I'm wearing a lab coat. I'm in like a laboratory. I literally have like cloning pods. Bro, even as a mad scientist, I wouldn't even dare go that far. I mean, bro, the whole thing gives off Frankenstein, man. And, I mean, ironically, I do like Frankenstein. But Adriana Smith, bro, I just had to speak up about this. The reason why I wanted to, like, talk about this is because, well, a couple months ago, an old friend of mine just recently had a kid, and I realized that this could happen to her. Shoot, not just her. Shoot, almost every single, like, loved one that I have. For any, like, Republican or quote-unquote pro-life, this is not pro-life, man. This is pro-birth. This is just, again, this is just nuts. You're making a dead woman give birth to a kid. And it's already been confirmed that the kid is more likely to have more problems, like, afterwards. I mean, the kid's more likely to be disabled. And bro, no kid, regardless, should ever know the fact that they were born out of a corpse. And the fact that, like, nothing has ever happened like this before. There hasn't been, like, a baby that was ever born through a corpse. I honestly think that this had something to do with the Trump administration. I feel like the Trump administration had something to do with this. I mean, with JD Vance, there was a TikTok about him, like, saying that he wants more babies. He wanted to have, like, America to have more babies. Okay, I bet if he ever heard about this story, well, I mean, there's like possibility he heard of the story, I bet he would be like, wait a minute, to this extent? Okay. Because this is just nuts. And for anyone who claims to be a Christian, let me ask you something. Do you think Jesus or God would allow this to happen? To let, like, somebody make a corpse give birth to a child? This is playing God. This is like, again, like one of the things that like most people preach about when it comes to like, genetic engineering and stuff like this. Or again, this particular situation, people would be saying that that's playing God. Everyone would agree. Like, regardless if you're a Christian or not, everybody should be solely against this. Solely. Guys, have you ever heard of the show called The Handmaid's Tale? I mean, if you clicked on this video 9 times out of 10, you probably have heard of this show. To put it simply, there was like a crisis that happened, like the birth rate was so low, so pretty much it was taken over by a theocracy government, and pretty much women are forced to like give birth to children to these rich elite. Just to put it simply though, I highly recommend that you guys watch The Handmaid's Tale, but again, I highly recommend that you guys watch it at your own risk, man. There was an episode in season 3, I think, season 3, episode 9, where pretty much like this pregnant handmaid was brain dead, and the fact that she was a handmaid, they still kept her alive to keep the baby from dying. That's just insane. And the fact that that episode came like years before 2025, that episode pretty much predicted the whole scenario, man, that we're in right now. And it's just scary. And the third and the fourth, like TikTok, where they pretty much like talk about eugenics and like how often black people, and specifically black women, have been test subjects to like many different like experiments in this country. Alright, in case you guys are not familiar with the eugenics movement, to put it simply, it's pretty much where the government decides on like who you reproduce with, who gets to like, have kids and who don't have kids. They normally target like specific marginalized groups, like immigrants, the disabled, mentally ill, and of course, people of color, black people, indigenous communities, and etc. etc. And how they managed to achieve this? Well, through forced sterilization. The state that I'm in, North Carolina, was like one of the top like sterilization like states in the country. Pretty much they would sterilize anyone who was like, again, like mentally not okay, or like, again, people of color. Another example of like black people being like using like experimentation would be the Henry case. I actually did a video on Henry Lex. Henry Lex was a cancer patient back in the 50s that died. The doctors took her cells without her consent or knowledge. Her cells were very special. Like, these things could, like, reproduce and work outside of the human body. And they were pretty much sold for, like, a lot of money. But the family did not even know about this until the 70s. Those cells were mostly used for medical research, and the fact that these things, like, helped pioneer for, like, certain breakthrough, like, say, certain HIV treatments. Some of them were used in the COVID vaccine trials, also called the hero cells. Those things saved a lot of lives and helped a lot of people. There's this guy on TikTok, his name is Joel, but like people know him as like the medical mythbuster. He debunks every single like racist medical like bullcrap. I highly recommend that you guys give this dude a follow. But he done like a bunch of research on these type of topics. Alright, to my black brothers and sisters out there possibly watching this video, especially black women, we need to be more cautious and careful more than ever now. We cannot afford to like become experiments again. They experimented on us once, and we could never, ever let this happen again. Alright y'all, your boy gotta go. Like, share, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out on DeviantArt. The links to everything is down below. And guys, if you want to get my videos before like it ever hits YouTube, head over to my Patreon page. The links to the facts, the history, and everything else is in the description down below. Entry bullet, out.